Anyways.
Yeah, anyways, like I was saying, you must get it all the time.
Yeah, I do. It's really immature, actually. So,
Anyway.
Are you waiting there to say that to me, or?
No puedo trabajar así.
Yeah, that's a little strange and really unnecessary. Just move away from that gentleman. Somebody needs to have nowhere to go.
Unlike YouTube, live on-air reporters don't have the luxury of being able to edit things out. They need to be on at all times because what you see is what you get. Unfortunately for some, being on air brings out the worst in them. Now I'm not sure if it's due to the person being intoxicated or feeling like they're being put on the spot or simply just wanting 15 minutes of fame. Either way, the actions of these morons, and that's me putting it nicely, are inexcusable. All workplace harassment is just that, harassment, and should never be tolerated. Today we're unfortunately counting down the top 10 TV reporters who were harassed on live TV. I say unfortunately because I wish I wasn't able to find 10, but truthfully I was able to find well over a dozen. Now as always, we got some comment replies and bloopers coming up at the end, but for now, enjoy me shredding these complete losers, some who have been charged, thankfully, to shreds. Now before I do list them off, I do want to mention quickly the guy with the glasses that grabbed the microphone from a news reporter and said F her right in the P. You get what I'm saying? That was all a hoax. It wasn't real, so it will not be included on this list. Just wanted to put that out there. Great, let's get into it. Starting us off at number 10, we got Shauna Hunt.
I respect it.
If your mom saw you talk like
my
this
mom
to a
would die
woman-
laughing eventually.
Really?
She would.
Okay, alright.
Would die laughing.
Okay.
Now this actually happened in Toronto back in 2015 after a Toronto FC match. While Hunt was speaking to two fans about the team, a guy walked by her and uttered those 6 infamous words. F her right in the P. However, it's what happened after that that made headlines. Following Hunt and the guys being interviewed moving on, Hunt calls out a group of guys standing right next to her, asking if they were going to emulate what the man just said. After a brief exchange, one of the guys defended the man's actions, saying it's hilarious and not offensive at all. He would end up losing his job until apologizing to Hunt and being reinstated. And at number 9, Malan Wahlberg. One of the 3 incidences that happened during the 2018 World Cup, Wahlberg was reporting live before kickoff between Sweden and South Korea, with a mob of Swedish fans right behind her. While reporting, a fan ran up to the reporter, put his arm around her, and kissed her on the cheek. She didn't seem too rattled by the incident, seemingly laughing about it and pushing the Swedish supporter off of her. Although Wahlberg didn't seem to be too taken back by the incident, it was the second incident in just a few days to happen to a female reporter on air. And unfortunately, 2 out of 3 that we know of that happened in the 2018 World Cup in like a week. Moving into the number 8 spot, Tanea Reza. Now Reza was on air with her co-host Enrique Tovar when he poked her breast twice.
Lindo collar que trae este día de hoy. Parece como un tipo faraón. Mira mami, mira, qué bonito collar. Así como tú. Bien.
Reza eventually got fed up with Tovar's actions. She took off her microphone and stormed off set. After the segment aired, many thought the gag was planned. The 2 hosts made a video saying it was indeed a planned hoax to go viral, but they didn't inform the station. Following this information, the station fired both hosts. Then Reza came out and said she was pressured by the company to admit her guilt, meaning she didn't actually do it as a hoax at all. She was just coerced into saying that. The 2 would eventually end up getting their jobs back, but it's gross that not only did Reza get touched inappropriately, she ended up getting the same punishment as her co-host who actually did something wrong. And at number 7, we got Juliet Jimenez.
Don't do this. Never do this again, okay? I'm sorry. Don't do this. I don't allow you to do that. Never.
Thankfully, Juliet was quick enough that the man trying to kiss her on the cheek missed. Still, why someone seeing another person trying to do their job on air leads them to wanting to kiss the reporter is, well, it's beyond me. This incident happened before the Japan-Senegal match at the 2018 World Cup. Moments before Julia went to speak, the man tried to kiss her. After he misses, Julia reamed him out, saying, "Don't do this. Never do this again. Don't do this. I don't allow you to do this. Never, okay? This is not polite. This is not right. Never do this to a woman, okay? Respect." As Julia is yelling at the man who's off screen, he can immediately be heard apologizing. Unfortunately, Julia's was the 3rd incident to happen in about a week's time, and one of the 2 times it happened to her alone while reporting on the World Cup that year. Unfortunately, there's still another 2018 World Cup incident on here. Moving on to the number 6 slot, we got Lahel Wehwe.
في هذه الأثناء ساحة رياض الصلح تعج بمئات الأشخاص الذين
While reporting live at a protest in Lebanon, a man walks directly up to Lahel Wehwe and kisses her on the cheek while she's talking. After the incident, she continues on, nervously laughs, collects herself, and continues reporting. Speaking on the incident, Lahel Wehwe said, "I was live when I felt the kiss without seeing him. I tried to continue reporting professionally, although my voice was shaky. Despite the unacceptable act, I remained emotionally stable and maintained eye contact with the camera." Afterwards, the alleged kisser issued an apology, which Lahel Wehwe accepted, but it doesn't change the fact that you violated this poor woman on TV. Do better, man. At number 5, Rivest.
An absolutely gorgeous day out today, and it's allowing people to focus on the fun, on the music, on the okay.
Rivest was reported on site when a group of guys seemingly started to harass her. Now call it what you want, but at the end of the day, it's a person trying to do their job, and these guys were making it more difficult. At first, one guy walks behind her gesturing at the camera. Then another guy walks behind her while the third literally runs in front of her between the camera and Rivest. Following the incident, which Sarah can be seen laughing off, the first guy comes back to kiss her on the cheek. After that, Rivest can be seen visibly uncomfortable, trying to keep her composure. Following the incident, the man was charged with harassment, and Sarah said his behavior was unacceptable. Moving on to number 4, Lila Jimenez. Reporting live from Barcelona, Jimenez had to deal with a handful of horrible situations. As you can see, a protester literally poured Red Bull on her hair. In another video, a protester could be literally seen shouting at the top of her lungs directly in Jimenez's face. It's unclear when she went live and when she was preparing to speak, but regardless, if this happened moments before she did go on air, it's unacceptable behavior. It's a form of assault and harassment, and when speaking on it, Jimenez said she felt humiliated but didn't want to play victim. Getting to the top 3, at number 3, Juliet Gonzales, Theron.
Es un ambiente soñado para cualquier fanático del mundo, para cualquier fanático del mundo.
While reporting at the World Cup in 2018 before a tilt between Russia and Saudi Arabia, Theron was kissed and groped live on TV. Now some people were actually trying to defend the man, claiming he didn't mean to touch her there and simply went to grab her shoulder. Still, even if that was the case, what's the reasoning for the man to run up and grab a stranger, then kiss them on the cheek? I mean, it just doesn't seem like a good idea, ever. Imagine running up to a stranger and doing that. Why is that not okay, but if it's in front of a camera, we play it off like it's a joke. What's even more disturbing, as you can now see, is this is the third incident to happen in the span of about a week at the 2018 World Cup. Theron spoke on the incident saying, "We do not deserve this treatment. We are equally valuable and professional. When we went live, this fan took advantage of the situation, but afterwards when I checked to see if he was still there, he was gone." And that seems to be the case for most of these guys because, well, they're just cowards. Losers. I hate them all. Moving into number 2, Chris Glover.
And what they will do ultimately will be a hard launch. That's not going to happen until later on this spring. But as you can see, a lot of people are rallying around.
While reporting live from a comedy event in Toronto, CBC's Chris Glover was put in an extremely uncomfortable position. As you can clearly see in the video, a man in a green hoodie comes up from behind Glover and starts to lick his ear and kiss his shoulder and neck. Visibly uncomfortable, Glover continues to report before ultimately handing it back over to those in studio. This man was then identified as comedian Boyd Banks, who had previously appeared on shows produced by CBC. Following the incident, Glover was praised for keeping his composure while on air, and Banks faced a ton of backlash, with people online calling for the police to charge him with assault. Glover did file a police report, although it's unclear if Banks was ever charged. Banks did apologize, saying he's guilty of everything and called himself an idiot. Still doesn't change what's already happened, guy. Now in at number 1, the incident that unfortunately inspired this list in the first place, Alex Bozargian.
And this happens.
Exciting.
He really did it. The runner slapped the reporters behind. You can see the shocked look on her face.
While reporting on a race in Savannah, Georgia, Alex Bozargian was slapped on the tush. Immediately following the incident, you could see how taken aback and uncomfortable she was, having a tough time forming a sentence. This is no different than if it happened to a stranger on the street. It's a form of assault and should be dealt with accordingly. The clip would go viral and Bozargian would tweet out, "To the man who smacked my butt on live TV this morning, you violated, objectified, and embarrassed me. No woman should ever have to put up with this at work or anywhere. Do better." Since the incident, 44-year-old Thomas Calloway has been charged with sexual battery and paid a $1,300 bond to be released. Calloway apologized on TV and claimed he was trying to pat her on the back or shoulder and didn't realize he hit her bum until afterwards. I mean, I always try to see the best in people, but Miss Bozargian's back doesn't seem like it's so small to the point that it'd be hard to slap her on the shoulder and accidentally hit her tush. I'm just saying, like, it's not, there's a big gap there. And there you guys have it for the top 10 TV reporters who were harassed on live TV. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments below. In case you guys haven't realized, the list was entirely comprised of female reporters up until number 2, and he was the only guy on this list. It's a sad reality, but clearly women are targeted much more often, whereas men seem to always be the perpetrator. This is true in regard to plenty of statistics, and unfortunately stands true for on-air reporters as well. So next time you see an on-air reporter on site, just don't. Alright guys, let's reply to some comments from this video. Top 10 YouTubers that are mean in real life. Mariah Bright said Onision is evil, that he is in the lowest pit of hell. He needs to be locked up. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I agree with you. He just seems like a pretty bad guy. And from what I understand, he's done horrible things, so not a fan. Jennifer and Elizabeth said, best channel on YouTube. Y'all are amazing. I love you all equally. Well, you know what, Jennifer and Elizabeth? I like you guys equally too. I was gonna make a joke that I liked one more than the other, and then I was like, I don't even feel right joking about that. So it's equal, 50-50. Natasha Malt said, wait. You're all Canadian? My father must never know. I just want to know why. I saw people replying to your comment being like, I don't understand why, and I want to know why. So please, let us know why. That's an issue. And on that note, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. You guys have been watching I.O. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend if you like, and of course, subscribe and click that bell. Wishing you guys a very happy new year and happy holidays. Enjoy these bloopers, and we'll see you soon. Even though she didn't do anything wrong. The two that... Moving on to the number 6 slot, we got Lahel Wehwe. Totally just butchered that name, but I don't care.